Hello and welcome to an Unreal Engine video today. We're going to take a look at possibly doing a interaction system slash inventory, I guess, system. But yeah, it's just going to be basically the same thing, but I want to do a few things first, and most notably get some of this stuff interfaced with again. There was also one change that I noticed that we can do. Um, in here, instead of the actor, because we don't actually need this actor, I'm going to just delete this. And so that's going to update our, it'll update our interface methods here, but I don't think we can just simply disconnect this, like so. Um, and the items I'll probably get fixed up as well, like this. Okay, so we'll fix that up, but and then we'll have to fix it in the gravity system. Now, the main reason I'm fixing this is because we have the owner here already. So we can go like this instead. Yep, and that's pretty much it. That was the only reason why for the change. So let's move on. I'm gonna go ahead and set up interfaces for our other objects as well. So this should still be fine. They'll just run. Okay. Fall towards the planet. All right, cool. Now I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna interface all the game objects here and put them in their own folder, and then create things like player states, the game states, and everything that we'll need, as well as also with their interfaces. So I'll be right back with that once I get that all set up, and I'll show you. All right, welcome back. I went through, I created a folder for each one of our things here. So we have our game mode, game state, our HUD, player character, player controller, and our player state. I put these in each of their own folders. So for example, the game mode here, if we just click on this, I have an interface for it. And it has as whatever it is, and then that's going to return whatever the interface is. So for the example, this is a gravity game mode, so this game mode function is going to be returns this output variable titled as gravity game mode, and it's going to be the reference to the interface itself. And then in the actor, to use this, you go into the game mode, set the interface, go over to the method, and just set this as self. And I did this for everything, basically. So we've got it for the game mode, we've got it for the game state, HUD, player character, I made its own here, player controller, and then the player state. And so whenever we want to interact between these blueprints, we have interfaces to do so. And yeah, so they all have the same method as whatever it is, and then whatever the interface that they're referencing is, and then it's just self. Easy stuff. I also went over to the gravity blueprint or the gravity interface here, and I put these as gravity actors and apply movement as well under their own categories. So now whenever we see them in the player, we can see that it's under its own category here, which is nice because we'll have other methods that we need to handle here. Okay, great. So let's move on to the next thing. All right, back in our components folder here. I think we're gonna do, I think instead at the start, do maybe like inventory or something. I think we're gonna do interaction. Like we're gonna set up a interaction system. Basically, in the same way that we did the gravity system, it's gonna be a very similar format, I think. Thinking about it, we don't really need all that much. So yeah, we'll start off with a data table here for our gameplay tags. And I guess we'll need a couple tags for our interaction because we want to, let's see, we want to keep track of some of the states. So I think we'll, let's start off with, let's just start off with like the root tag of interact. We'll call this interact. And basically it'll just be a root tag, and we can then simply add a child of interact enabled, and we'll set this as a child of do interact dot enabled. So this will control, so this will just be a general tag. This will be a child tag of being enabled. That seems fine. And if we need any other states for to control, that's what we're using a component for it. So I think we'll go ahead and just add, yeah, let's go ahead and just add these tags. See, so now we got interaction tags. We go. Cool. Let's go ahead and set up another in the similar function here. Similar function, no pun intended. A util. So we'll create a function library, and this is going to just do it's going to be our BFL underscore line interface, and that's all it's going to basically do. Is we're just going to wrap the line trace around this function, line trace by channel. So basically, we're going to have this interaction system mostly be a wrapper around anything that we need to interact with. So like if we need to do a sphere trace, we can do a sphere trace through here. But basically, we'll just go ahead and we'll just set we'll just pass these through, and we will do we'll add a return value, and I'm just gonna actually because this is gonna be more of a standalone thing. We do want to split this structure, but we also want to just branch off of this just in case. So just in case we get a hit. The thing is, we want to take this, break it, and the hit actor, and well, actually, the thing is, even if we have a hit, the thing is with this, what I want to do is return a reference to the interactable. So this is where I want the BPI interact interface or interactable, and this is where our classic interact comes from. And the thing is, I think I'm going to rename this. I'm going to rename this to interactable, because it's going to be more of a marker that does our interact. And I'm going to actually add a as interactable. We'll go ahead and set up a root function here for this. And a custom, there we go, and a custom custom category. Okay, so basically what we want to do then is from this hit actor to as interactable. And the nice thing about this is, even if this fails, it'll return null. So we can simply pass this through. So now when we ever want to save a local, if we ever want to extract some information, we have it here. Yeah, that looks good. I think for now we'll go ahead and do this for one frame, ignore self. Yeah, let's do it that way. Okay, actor component. Let's see, BP underscore interact component. And basically, off of the tick, yeah, off the tick, let's do the BFL line trace here. And then promote this to the variable as interactable. Okay. And then from our start and end point, so I think what we'll do is, I think for now, just to test it out, get owner, and then we'll do get camera. No. Well, I mean, either way, we can simply do get owner, get actor by class, or get component by class, camera component, get world location, get forward vector, multiply, float 500. So let's see, start's gonna be here, and end is gonna be add like so. Okay, and then I'm just gonna print string, and we can say to object, and then we'll just say this, like so, display name. Now let's go ahead and let's add this actor to our player character. Okay, and now if, let's see, so it should apply every time. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actors here, the game, these guys. Let's go ahead and add BPI interactable interfaces. Let's see, interact system as interactable. That's self. Okay. Then we've got the event here. Okay, great. So now if it should actually just print something out. It should just print something out. Let me see here. We should be seeing a line as well. There you go. Auto activate. Don't see a line. Oh, there is a line. Okay. It just looks weird. Okay, that's fine. Then you know what? Let me just put this up to like 800. Okay. We should be printing a string as well. Well, actually, I think it'll only print out the string if we hit something. Yeah. Okay, great. So just printing it out. We hit something here. Cool. You know, I was just thinking too, about what we're gonna do next, because I think we're gonna move on to like some more of the interaction system to take advantage of our gameplay tags. But I think what I want to do here is since we're using a capsule component for the collision. I want to change this out to be the arms that we had from our first person template, and I'm going to change this to have a simple animation. And let's see about let me see if I can rotate this around. Let's get the spring arm. I'm going to set the spring arm to 0. Yeah, because I guess that's basically first person. I mean, I guess we can look down, we can see some arms. Camera's a little weird. I think the camera's clipping. Weird. Oh, is in air. Oh, because it's trying to figure out the end. Oh, okay, I see. Well, either way, let's see. Well, I have to do a custom animation, but that shouldn't matter. I just see we got first person arms. Okay, cool. All right, so back over in our interact component, let's take advantage of some of the tags that we have. So go ahead and add a play tag container. Okay, so that'll be holding our tags for various usages. So let's see here. Also, let's promote this to a variable. Interact distance, and I'm also going to promote this class to a variable. And this is going to be the I mean, I want it to be called the component class, but I guess component class to line trace. It's a mouthful, but it is what it is. So basically the camera component. Or we're doing it from the camera component, so yeah. And I'm going to collapse this to a function, and this is going to be find interactable, or it's your lookat function. Yeah, you look at interact, sure. Okay, so this is going to take in our class. It's set in B. This is going to be interact distance. Yeah, so it'll get the components forward vector, then it'll set the interactable. And if that is null, then it'll set it to null. But let's do this, do a get, and then has tag and exact match, and let's do interact enabled. And let's go ahead and branch off of this. Okay. This should be our interact layer. So now if we have interaction enabled, we do this. If we don't have this tag and get to object, let's just see. Off of the false, if we want to check, do we have anything that's selected as interacted, because we're turning it off. If it is valid, then let's go ahead and just set it to nothing. And if it's not valid, we can simply do nothing. Not compatible with scene component. I'm very confused. Is it, are these two pins? Ah, yeah, I see, okay. Oh, I see, because it's not being able to... Huh, okay, well. Let's go ahead and just delete this then. No. Don't delete it just yet. Let's just see here. Yeah. Okay, let's delete that. We might need to figure out something else because if we want to make it more general, we could make a call to the player character interface to get us our actor that we're working with. Oh, we could do that. Okay, now that we're back, the editor crashed there for a second. I don't know why. Anyway, so we finished up adding, we removed the component class because we can deal with this later for the meantime. But if it's just getting tossed onto our player character, I think it'll be okay. Okay, so now that's added. Let's see about getting our character. Let's see. So our character now, no line trace. Okay. Now if I go into the character in our gravity component, we've got our gravity. And let's see. We've got our interact here. Let's see. Track distance of 800. That's just a marker. And let's set the enable to true. And now we've got a line trace. Cool. Okay, if I walk up to like something and it prints it out, yep. Hello, Mr. Item. Perfect. Cool. All right, I think it's time for the second part of this where we actually, let's see, do interact. And we're actually going to do this a slightly different way. What we're going to do is we're actually going to do a check for when we do this exact match, and we're going to check for our root tag interact. And so what we're going to do is when we want to interact, we are going to simply request this component to make an interaction. Does that make sense? So yeah, so we'll add the tag of interact. And then off of this, we can say, we can do get our interactable, and we can say interact off of this. And now we should be able to just simply press a key, interact, and then we can simply off of this container remove the interact tag. And we can simply say we're done. We interacted. Now we probably need some additional logic here to handle this, but I think that's fine. That should be a-okay. Let's see now. Let's open up our blocks here. Let's fill out the interact here, and all I'm going to do is just do a simple destroy, just so we know that we've seen that it works and we can simply do something with it. Yeah, so we say we make an interact call. So over in our pawn, let's add a key press for this. This is the event? Yeah, this is the event graph. Let's go ahead and add our Now we can do it the whole way. We can add an input action. We can do that, but let's just for now. Let's just see if it works. So for the E key, we'll go ahead and we'll say interact component. Get well, in the future, we probably want to add an interface around this component, add a notify for this tag, but for the case, let's just expose this and say get inventory tag container, add tag. Interact. Now let's see. Now we also, this is maybe why we want an interface, because basically here we could call this interfaced on here interact, which would deposit the tag into the container, which would then do the interaction. But for now, we could just what we'll do is we'll just tack this onto here, onto the tick, because all this is doing is it's just checking to see if the tag exists. If the tag doesn't exist, it simply doesn't do anything. So it looks and then does an interaction. So if we walk up to one of these boxes, hopefully when I click this, it disappears. And the boxes go bye-bye. All right, cool. Yummy boxes. Yummy, yum, yum, yum. All right, great. Oh, we got a few errors. What is this? Ah. Oh, because the object could not. Ah. So this is a case, this is where we probably, because when it tries to interact, it deposits, it has the tag, but this can be null. So this object, let's just see if it's is valid. So, okay, so yeah, so if it is valid, if the object is an actual object that we're hitting, simply do the interact. And then remove the tag. But if it's not valid, but we still receive it, we still want to remove the tag. So let's just go ahead and remove the tags in both these instances. Now that error should disappear, because it should only occur whenever we try and interact with something that basically you can't interact with, or it sends just an empty call to the component. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because if we call it without, if we call do the interaction, but there's no object to interact with, then we can't interact. But either way, we still want to just remove that tag because we don't want to be in this state anymore. Do this interact. Okay, cool. Fantastic. Let's move on.